What's up, y'all? This is your boy Eddie Jax. Welcome back to the Drop That Podcast. This episode is brought to you by for movie talk is by Layback TV. Over 10,000 channels, movies on demand, every sports channel where you can get every motherfucking thing that all these streaming services got. Okay, it's only $25 a month. You can get it at home or as a network, or you can take it on the road with you on your phone, because you can get it on your Apple stores and your Play stores for iPhones and Androids. Okay. Make sure y'all check it out. LaybackTV.com. You can get all your information to tell me if everything I'm saying is bullshit. And you can ask all the questions you want and DM them on official_LaybackTV, okay? Now, let's get into some movie talk and get some real shit happening. Whoa! Alright. So, we're 6 months down. And a lot of movies coming out. A lot of movies did come out. We checked them out. You know what I mean? Karate Kid Legends. Even saw Dogman. What else we got? Other interesting things. Jurassic World came out. The new one, Rebirth. Let's see. And then there was some trash that came out. Okay, so here, in my opinion, top 5 movies and why. So far, okay? Number 5, I got Captain America, Brave New World. You know what I mean? It's the 4th Captain America movie. I believe it's Phase 5, I believe. It was starring Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford. Got some Liv Tyler in there, but coming back as Liz Ross. You know what I mean? It was a decent movie. It was a decent film. I was kind of curious about it. I feel like it didn't do its justice because of what it had to compete with, and the fact that flare, that spark of lightning that they had when the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show came out on Disney Plus, like, it sparked the idea of a Captain America movie starring a black Captain America. But here's the thing, that was like a little close to 4 years ago. Okay, we had a pandemic when that show came out. 8 episodes. Check it out. It's on Disney Plus. It's dope. But they wanted that movie right away, and it just didn't happen. But they gave it to you this year. He gave it to you February of 2025. That spark just died now. It's died. It died. It could have did something, and it just took too long to get that out in the open to the public. But it was decent. Do we need a Captain America 5? No, the fuck we don't. Sorry to say, we don't. But I always tell people, if you want to see Cap 4, Brave New World, you gotta check out all the Caps. You gotta check out Infinity War and Endgame and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It all makes sense. But you gotta like, probably the top 3 would be Captain America Civil War, Endgame, and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You could do those 3, and boom, you're good. But it was a decent movie. I thought so. 4th movie, I will give it to Thunderbolts, actually. Thunderbolts was pretty dope. It lived to the caliber. What's fucked up is that you gotta see different movies and different shows just to catch up to Thunderbolts, to understand where these characters are coming from. You know what I mean? You got the Red Guardian, you got Walker, you got the Winter Soldier, let me see, you got Elena, yeah, you got a lot of different ones. And here's the shows and the movies that you gotta watch in order to get this. You gotta watch the Black Widow film. You gotta watch, let me see, Ant-Man and the Wasp. You have to see, pretty much any project that had the Winter Soldier in it. Definitely Captain America, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You gotta see that. So then you understand. Also, you gotta see the Hawkman show with Jeremy Renner. You gotta see that. These are things that you have to see in order to catch up to this Thunderbolts movie. So I thought the comedy was great. I thought the action was great. Story wise, it was a little back and forth. And I'm not saying that. I say from the beginning to the middle was the most entertaining. When you get in towards the end, it was just all, kind of all over the place. I could have lived with this movie without Sentry. I do not need anything DC familiar to be the fucking sole purpose of this film. You got a guy who basically is a villain, but it's like a mixture of Superman and Black Adam. I don't need it. Like, no, get that shit out of here, bro. Why need that? Why do I need that? You know what I'm saying? The way they created him is more like he can actually beat Thor, Hulk, pretty much everybody. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that part. But it was decent film. Decent film, I think so. I also thought there was some kind of like, some different, chemistry right there with Elena and Winter Soldier. Who knows? Maybe that's the next one up to be the power couple. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, check it out. I mean, you could call it Thunderbolts, you could call it the New Avengers. They were planning on doing a New Avengers title anyway, somewhere. So, shout out to them. Third movie, I'm going to give it to Ballerina, the spin-off of the John Wick franchise. Now, a lot of people jumped on John Wick very fucking late in that franchise. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them jumped on it in part 3, chapter 3 of John Wick. When I jumped on that franchise, I was on it since day 1, 2014. You know what I mean? When part 1 and part 2 debuted at number 3. Nobody was giving it a fucking chance until after part 2. You know what I'm saying? Because they started seeing this as something with potential to grow. And then, Sony Lionsgate stepped in there and fucking snatched it up. Now, part 3, part 4, they were definitely up there. So now they started a whole fucking franchise where Peacock, they got the Continental, and then you got Ballerina. You know what I'm saying? Amy Domar. If you're curious on what's the timeline in Ballerina, it's in between John Wick chapter 3 and chapter 4. So, if you want to watch it in that order, John Wick 1, 2, and 3, and then watch Ballerina, and then get into chapter 4, you can, because it makes sense. But it's dope. So, shout out to Amy, and shout out to Keanu Reeves, who reprised his role for that project, and did it great. They both did great. Action was on point. You know what I mean? I love that film. I even took my kid to watch it. She was killing on that one. She's like, oh, this is fire. Number 2, gotta shout out to Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan. Sinners. Holy fuck, this is an interesting film. Not your average musical, not your average vampire horror film. This is a new lane of everything. You know what I mean? And them two, I mean, look at what Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan created. You know what I mean? They did the Creed movies. They did Black Panther 1. You know what I'm saying? And now look what they did with Sinners. I was hearing great things about Sinners. I missed a few screeners for it. But watching it live, this was interesting. Michael B. Jordan playing two twins. You know what I'm saying? And one of them was my favorite. It's the one who actually became a vampire, not the one who passed away. Sorry if it's the spoilers. It's been 2 months. You should have fucking watched it by now. But yeah, shout out to Michael and Ryan. Y'all fucking killed it with Sinners. Sinners was a great film. First and number 1, top tier in action, in suspense, in story mixed with some drama. Very high caliber potential characters in the film. I gotta give it to Brad Pitt's F1 Formula 1 film. I've watched this film twice already. This is fucking top notch. It had one of my favorite producers in film, Jerry Bruckheimer. You don't know who Jerry Bruckheimer is? I'll give you a little heads up. He produced all 4 Bad Boys movies with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. He produced Armageddon with Bruce Willis. He produced Pearl Harbor. Ben Affleck, Josh Hartnett. He produced Con Air, Nicolas Cage. Just saying. So, yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer is one of the best. It's he's right up there. He's right up there. There's a lot of films. Y'all do the Googles, okay? Same director for Top Gun Maverick, which was a sequel to Top Gun. Same director. Them as a team, it was fucking crazy. And my favorite team used to be Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael Bay. Michael Bay does the Transformer films. But this was great. You know, Brad Pitt helped produce it with his Plan B Productions. Yeah, this was fucking superb. I gotta give credit where it's due. So far, F1, you know, and you can make an argument F1 and Sinners are the best movies to come out in 2025 right now. Just saying. Here's the movie that didn't make my top 5. It probably won't make my top 10 or literally my top 20. This was fucking garbage. Hot fucking garbage. And I ain't afraid to fucking say it. Superman. What? What the fuck was this? I sat there. I watched it like a fucking customer. Paid for it. Looked at it. Didn't enjoy it. I'm like, and I was very, very skeptical when I'm hearing James Gunn leaving the Marvel world to swing over to the DC Studios, be the head of DC Studios, not only write, produce, but direct their first one in this revamped universe. Now here's all the people who lost a job. Henry Cavill, Superman. Ben Affleck, Batman. Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam. Jason Momoa, Aquaman. Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman. Ray Fisher, Cyborg. J.K. Simmons, Commissioner Gordon. Should I go on? Should I fucking go on? This did not mix well. And I don't know if it had something to do with... And I'm not saying anybody in the film did not do this due. You know, everyone did their thing. You know what I'm saying? Nicholas Hoult playing Lex Luthor, that was very original how he was doing it. There's many, many Lex Luthors, and he did it. He did it like he was very intellect. You see Christopher Reed's son in the movie as a reporter. So shout out to him. He got to do something in the legacy of his dad. What else we got? It was just a little weird. And then there are people who did Marvel who came over to do this. It just didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a Green Lantern in it. You know, I've been waiting for Hawk Girl to get in it, and they got the girl who played Trini in fucking Power Rangers. Shout out to her. She's great. You know, she's pretty. She gives flair. But it's like, you got a Spanish girl playing Hawk Girl. Not say race got anything to do with it, but it's more like, I don't think she understood the character and what she needed to bring to the table. It's like the voiceovers who did the Justice League show, the animated show, and Justice League Unlimited. It seemed like they did the characters a justice. You know, like Kevin Conroy as Batman and Michael Hamill as the Joker. It seemed like they did their justice. Oh, you know who else got a job? Harley Quinn, played by Margot Robbie. Jared Leto, playing the Joker. Will Smith, playing Deadshot. Everybody lost their jobs because you wanted to revamp this and give us this. Now, if you're going to give us a Superman movie where you're going to try to squeeze in these characters that we didn't get, you know, like a Green Lantern and a Hawk Girl, okay, and then using the Superman dog Crypto to come in. Okay, cool. I'm really up for this. You're giving people what we didn't get. Then you're giving us Supergirl, the cousin. What the fuck is going on? Do you know Supergirl was fucking drunk in the movie? There was comedy in the movie. Since when? Last time I checked, none of Christopher Reeve, rest in peace, any of his Superman movies were funny. You know what I'm saying? Gene Hackman played Lex Luthor. May he rest in peace. There was no comedy in there. Let me see who else. Just didn't make sense. All this comedy was in the movie. It was just not good at all. If you like this, you love the idea of Superman. And this guy did pretty good as a Superman. But he was just, if I'm being honest, I think he made a better Clark Kent than he did a Superman. This comedy shit shouldn't have been in there. And James Gunn knows that. But the thing is, we've been through this fucking road before. Marvel directors should not be fucking directing DC movies. Look what happened with fucking Justice League. All that money that went to shit. All that money to make a DC version of a fucking Avengers, and you got Zack Snyder starting it, then Josh Whedon stepping in to Zack stepping out of family issues, and we got the garbage that we had to do a Zack Snyder version that was 4 hours long on HBO Max. What was the fucking point of that? James Gunn did 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies. 3 Guardians of the Galaxy. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. He did them great. Nobody could have pulled off a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And he was EP of the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And he did a great job. You should not be directing any DC shit. If the next... We're supposed to be getting a Green Lantern show. Hopefully they learned their lesson from this shit. It's going to be on HBO Max. And then on October, we're going to get a Clayface movie. Which means Batman's coming soon, whoever is cast as that. Clayface? Please don't fuck this up. This is a Clayface origin movie that most likely is going to be pretty well. Because we never got a Clayface before. So if we never got a Clayface before, that means don't fuck it up, James. Because this movie was fucking trash. Respectfully. That's all we got for the Drop That Podcast. I'm your boy Eddie Jax. Y'all already subscribed, like the page. Y'all already know what to do. If y'all want to leave comments because you didn't like what the fuck I said this one, go ahead. Be happy to debate with you. You guys have a good night. Peace.